Loose change for getting down. It's Friday and I'm on fire, and I know that I'll break your heart, and I'm sorry, I'm just so tired. 'Cause these cars are just it, so won't you come?
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
All right, hello and welcome to Sunday night edition of Between the Ropes. I am joined by our guy from behind the scenes. You know, he did make it after his Cowboys took a beating. So, but he's going to lay the smackdown tonight on Between the Ropes. His name is Crispy Bacon. How you doing?
Doing good. I feel like we need Walter to come in and, I don't know, knock some sense out of the Cowboys. But.
Oh,
Exactly. And then she's the EST of Between the Ropes, also a Cowboy fan. Possibly could be the next quarterback for the Cowboys. Chrissy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. That was funny, by the way.
And I'm the host, Big B, and my Vikings took it to the Packers. That could be why maybe Adam's not around, but I don't know where Messaround's at. I mean, his Bears won, so I don't know where he's at. So
He has to face the Packers next week, so he's
He's enjoying the
gotcha.
victory the Bears had over the Niners while it lasts.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So let's get it going. Chris, what was the first match on Raw?
Oh, what was I can't think of it. I know.
Yeah,
I
if you want to
Yeah, I'm getting
pull
it
it up, Chris.
Yeah.
So, sorry, we had a little change of plans, for you
Yeah.
viewers out there. So, like wrestling says, there's always a plan B. Plan B just wasn't ready this week.
Nope.
So,
I think the opening. I know the opening part was Rey Mysterio kind of confronting Edge.
okay, well, let's talk about that, Chris, while you bring up the matches for Raw as you find them. So, Chrissy, what did you think of Edge coming out and pretty much calling Dominic out?
Well, I mean, he had to. I mean, Dominic was the one who kicked Edge in the man region pretty much at Clash at the Castle, resulting in that heel turn. And then, I mean, Ray was just being a dad. So, oh my God. And then to see Dominic come out with Rhea and she say, well, I made him into a man. And I'm like, what? And then I think, what are you guys supposed to meme where Ray's saying Rhea is the devil? And Dominic goes, no, I like Rhea. Rhea likes me. And she beats the you-know-what out of me. And I like it too.
Yeah, that was a great.
Boy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was a great meme.
I loved it.
Well, I'm kind of interested to see what they do because, I mean, a lot of people are comparing the Dominic turn to Eddie and China now pairing up, and
yeah,
he's got the slick back. I mean, he does look like Eddie, now a little bit more. I mean, we all know he's Ray's kid, but I definitely could see him trying to say he's not Eddie's or he's not Ray's son. It's always Eddie wants to change his name to Guerrero. I can see that stuff happening. I can see him. I can see him staying out of the ring for a while before we get the big Ray Dominic match. Maybe a tag match with a Judgment Day member against Ray and Edge, but one-on-one, I think Dominic's will be out of the ring for a while. So
yeah,
I think you'll see Dominic and Edge at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't say. I don't think. I mean, You know, and I've been behind Dominic to give him time, but I just don't think he's catching on. So that's why I don't think Extreme Rules will happen. You know, maybe, you know, Chris. I mean, Chris, you've been right so far about taking the Bills with the number 1 overall pick. You're right on your lock of the week this week. So, you know, Chris, I can't count you out. So Chris, you got that match scheduled up?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
So the first match was Alpha Academy versus Lotharios versus New Day and versus Street Profits. It was for the...
That was the first match?
Yes. It was for the Unified Tag Team match, but it never got finished.
And why is that, Chris?
Braun Strowman came back.
Showed up.
God, I didn't think that was the first match. I mean, I guess I thought there was something else, but that. But anyways, Chris, why don't you give us a little lowdown on that match and what happened?
Yeah, so it was a four-team tag match for the number 1 contender of the Unified Tag Team Championship. Everything seemed to be going fine. I think Street Profits were leading that match, along probably with New Day. But then Braun Strowman came in and destroyed everything, like he does.
Yep.
So it never got finished. It was a no contest.
Yeah. So, Chrissy, what's your thoughts on that match?
Not a good way to bring Braun back by having him come in the middle of a number 1 contenders tag team match and just blow the whole thing up. I just didn't like the fact he came back that way. I would have waited maybe later on in the show to do that, but they did it. I don't know why they decided that was the right time to have him come out and just wreak havoc, but there he is. And there you go.
Yeah, no doubt. I definitely I agree with Chrissy. I don't know the understanding behind it. Unless WWE is going to put Braun and Wyatt together and make them a tag team. I mean,
I don't know.
You know, kind of disruptive and, you know, kind of make it each team goes after Braun and he finally brings out Wyatt as his tag partner. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, it's cool to see Braun back. He looks ripped as ever.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I was hoping that match would have got a good ending. I thought it was doing good. You know, Alpha had it going. I think all 4 teams actually had it pretty going. But yeah, Braun coming back kind of threw me off there. Glad he's back though. So Chris, what's number 2?
Yeah. Number 2 is going to be Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah going up against Nikki ASH and Doudrop. Raquel and Aaliyah won. It's pretty much a regular match to set up, or like a warm-up match for tomorrow's tag team match for the championship.
Okay. So, Chris, what'd you think of that women's match?
Not a bad one. I do agree with Chris. It's simply to set up Raquel and Aaliyah's match against Dakota and Io tomorrow night for the titles, which Raquel and Aaliyah are predicted not to retain. Dakota and Io are supposed to win those titles. They're supposed to, but I don't know.
They're just placeholders in.
Seems to be. That's what I'm thinking. But I've been proven wrong before. I mean, everyone has said they didn't think Liv was going to have the SmackDown Women's title as long as she's had it, and she's proven them wrong. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Well, Chris, what do you think of the match?
It was a good match. I think Aaliyah and Raquel are showing, improvement in their matches, but I think
they're just
they're
getting
not
better.
ready. Yeah, I don't think they're ready for the championship match.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Raquel and Aaliyah's won it. First, I don't agree with them winning. I think they really should have let Dakota Kai and Io Shirai win them. And I think it would have set up a better angle, a storyline at Clash of the Champion and going forward. They could have made it, each group winner takes all kind of thing. But Yeah, I could see them putting the belts on Dakota and Io tomorrow. So, all right, Chris, match 3.
Match number 3 is going to be Kevin Owens against Austin Theory. It started out as a promo, but then escalated into a match.
Hmm.
Kevin Owens won that.
Yeah, I mean, both guys are good. Don't get me wrong. I don't understand the booking right now of Austin Theory. I know Ace and I have talked, and he's like, "Oh, this is how they always treat the Money in the Bank winners." I don't recall it that much. I mean, that's why I think it has something to do with Vince being gone, and they're kind of punishing Austin Theory, and you know, he'll probably still cash in, and he'll probably still walk away with the title, or he loses the Money in the Bank case. Overall, I mean, they're giving Owens a push. We all know if you watch wrestling from when Owens was down in NXT, he was Triple H's guy. You know, a lot of these guys coming up are Triple H's guys. So he's going to push the talent he knows. So overall, good match. You know, I'm kind of confused on what they're doing with Theory, though. Chris?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I'm kind of confused with what they're doing with Theory. There's times where, you know, they want to push him, they want to cash it in. And then there's other times where, I don't know, he's just the guy, you know, they want to pick on, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, Chrissy?
Yeah, I don't get it either. I mean, they're treating Theory like a joke, pretty much. I mean, the 2 times he's attempted to cash in, he's either gotten hit by Roman or clocked by Tyson Fury. And I don't know what if it's his attitude that's turning people off, making him out to be a joke, to where he's getting hit with a Claymore by Drew McIntyre or something like that. This is just getting ridiculous.
You know, I don't really think it's the fan. I mean, of course, the fans are going to turn on Theory, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, unless there's some backstage animosity, I mean, I think he's playing a heck of a heel, and
He is.
you know, cocky attitude and taking the pictures, and you know, Fury knocking him out. You know,
Yeah.
I still think at what was it, SummerSlam with Brock and Roman.
Roman.
I still think that was the best chance to cash in. Now it's just we don't know. So
No, we don't know.
yeah. So Chris, what about the next match?
So
Wasn't there a Angle promo in the middle somewhere?
I thought that was following week, wasn't it?
I thought, oh, maybe. Okay, I don't know. I've been so busy trying to catch up on things. So, all right, Chris, go ahead.
So kind of back to that promo we talked about first with Rey Mysterio. He's going to go up against Damian Priest. He basically called out any member of the Judgment Day, so Damian Priest stepped up, and Priest won against Rey Mysterio.
Okay, Chrissy, what you think of that match?
Wow. I mean, Ray asked for it, and he got it, and he lost.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it was Finn Balor, I think the result would have been the same.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, both guys could throw down. Both guys are high flyers.
They are.
You know, probably watch this match over and over again. I mean, again, we'll see what they're doing with Dominic and you know Rhea and
yeah.
You know, I don't see. I saw somebody post that they could see Ray's daughter getting involved somehow, or Ray's wife. I don't see it. I don't
either.
I mean, maybe his daughter, but
I would think her daughter, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't see.
Probably get in there.
I don't see the wife getting involved. I really hope they don't bring the daughter back, because I think they blew a big story angle earlier in in the career when they had no fans with Murphy and stuff.
Her and Buddy Murphy, or as he's known in AEW, Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, so, but yeah. Outside, Chris, what you think of the match?
No, good match. I think Ray wanted to face anybody besides, you know, Dominic, but I think Ray's going to have his chance with everybody. except for
Mhm.
Dominic.
Yeah.
I think Finn's next, probably.
Hmm.
Yeah, but no, I mean, gotta give props to Dominic. I mean, to play a role heel and against your dad. I mean, that's got to just be hard to try to be
Yeah. It's
bad guy or
yeah.
and have your
Or
dad sit there and talk to you. You're just stone cold, just looking at
And-
Edge, not even looking at him.
yeah, that's
Um,
what I noticed. Dominic was not looking at his father; he was looking at Edge like, "I
Yeah.
want to kill you."
Yeah,
And I'm,
Yeah,
sure
pretty much.
I'm sure backstage, Dominic's like, "How'd I do?"
Yeah, I sure
exactly.
said,
I
"You did
mean,
awesome, son."
yeah. No, it'd be cool to hear, what that meant like for Dominic to
Yeah.
disrespect his dad, because
Sure.
if you've been watching documentaries and stuff, the Lucha Libre style or the history, you
Mhm.
respect your elders and stuff, and they're just
Yeah,
First,
kind of doing the opposite, so.
yeah.
All
I mean,
right,
you're
Chris.
taught that at an early age.
Yeah, exactly. So, Chris, what do we got
So-
next?
our final match, main event, is for the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley versus The Miz in a steel cage match.
Yeah, why is that?
They
Chris,
keep
why
a
do they have
certain
a
gentleman
steel cage?
out.
Yeah. To keep out.
Dexter Loomis.
All right. So, what you guys, Christy? What you think of the match before we get to the ending?
Really, was a
the
really,
match-
really good. Oh,
The
Whoever.
match.
go ahead, Chris.
Okay, the match was good. Started out with just a brawl outside of the cage before it started. Looked like The Miz was going to lose or was going to win the match, and then I guess Bobby Lashley found his second wind.
Okay. All right, Chrissy, what you think of the match before the ending?
Definitely a really, really fun match, and it did look like Miz was gonna win the title by escaping the cage until who happened to be looking up at him with that freaky, scary look on his face.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I mean, it was,
But I think Lashley was going to retain whether Loomis was there or not.
yeah. I mean, I guess it would have been a good way to get the belt off of Lashley, having him escape. But, the match was good. I mean, like Chris said, there was a brawl to begin with to try to weaken that Lashley got a second win. Match. They both are great performers in the ring. And, Miz tried to go up and climb and, come onto the ring. Yeah, I think we all thought we saw a ghost. I mean, he just sits there. And I know I brought this up with Belair and her hair, and I don't know how she could do it, wrestle. I do not know how Loomis could just sit there, stone cold look, not blink, not crack a smile, not do nothing. I don't get it. And then, of course, Miz climbs back in the ring, Lashley gets some wins, and then Loomis comes in and Miz tries to escape and Lashley shuts the door and
he did that. He did that.
So
and Loomis then put Miz in his submission move called the Silencer.
Yeah, well,
pretty much put him to sleep.
So what do we? I mean, do we got any clue on where they're going with this Loomis Miz storyline? I mean, Kristen, what do you think?
I'm almost thinking maybe Loomis is in cahoots with Lashley. I heard one person say maybe Loomis is in cahoots with Tommaso Ciampa. Maybe I have no idea. Or Loomis could be just acting on his own. It's one or the other.
Yeah, no, I think it's. I couldn't even give you any. I mean, any possibilities are. Is Loomis gonna be like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not like a hypnotist, but get in the mind of Miz and maybe they form a
Screw
tag
with his head.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe? I mean, do we get a different side of the Miz? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Chris, what do you think? What do you think where do you think they're going with this little storyline?
I think Loomis is going to face the Miz somehow at Extreme Rules, whether it be for a championship or just a match. But I think you'll see some kind of matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they can put. I mean, I don't know how they would put a title on either one of them right now, but
Yeah,
I can see a match. Actually, I can see a match with like Ciampa first, and then somehow the Miz gets involved, and these mind games start going over Miz or something. So I see Ciampa and Loomis before I see Miz and Loomis. I think
maybe.
Maybe Loomis is saying he wants a Miz, and Miz is like, you're gonna have to go through Ciampa first.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So, all right. So, overall thoughts on Raw before we move to SmackDown. Christy, the EST.
Not bad, with the exception of the Strowman return, which I said before I think occurred at the wrong time. It was overall not a bad show.
Yeah. Chris?
Not a bad show. I mean, you saw Braun Strowman return. You have, Dexter Loomis creeping everybody out. I don't know.
I think I'm kind of with you both. I think the show was okay. I think the Strowman reveal was kind of bogus. I mean, I guess if anything, they could have brought him into the main event and help Miz win the title.
Maybe.
And then, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe have maybe Strowman take care of Loomis. Maybe.
Yeah, that could have been a possibility. I don't know. Yeah. I wait to see how they build off of that. So, all right, Chris. So let's jump in a few days and let's go into SmackDown. What happened right away?
So on SmackDown, you have Imperium taking on the Brawling Brutes, which is Sheamus, Rich Holland, and Butch, or maybe Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne, yeah.
Okay,
I think he's going back to Pete Dunne.
So I caught that. I got in my office and turned it on, and they just started. I saw Pete Dunne or Butch have his Pete Dunne outfit on. I'm like, wait a minute, I know they're changing names. So I kind of, I was watching on Hulu, of course. I went back and forwarded to see, or rewinded to see when they came out, how they announced them. They announced them as Butch, so he kind of threw me off. So
I think I heard he's going to still be called Butch, but have the Pete Dunne look.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't heard, they've asked Gunther if he wants to go back to Walter. He said he doesn't care. It's just the name, pretty much. So anyways, Christy, what you think of that match?
It was a pretty good match. I mean, Imperium, led by Gunther, going up against Brawling Brutes, led by Sheamus. I just thought it was a really good match.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, it was a good match. I think you're going to see Sheamus and Gunther again in another match.
Oh, that's going to be I'll guarantee that right now. That's going to be at Extreme Rules.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if it's not, well, that could be for sure. But if it's not a 6-man tag, it's definitely worthy of Extreme Rules. And yes, I think the title, if it's a 1-on-1, it's definitely a title match. And I think we see Sheamus. I mean, those guys just beat the heck out of each other. I mean, all three of them actually. I mean, Sheamus was laying it in on everybody. So. Yeah, I thought it was a definitely good match. Yeah. Now, before we move on to the second match, I did see a post. Somebody was asking a question. Does the WWE need the trio titles like AEW does? With all these little factions. Christy, what do you think?
It sounds like a good idea, but I don't see WWE doing it.
All right, Chris.
I don't either. I think you're just basically copying. And I know wrestling is about that a little bit.
Yeah. No, I don't think they need. They definitely don't need the trio titles. I mean, I can see them doing something like, maybe like with the Bloodline, since they got all the men titles and stuff for the Intercontinental U.S. title. Maybe make it, you got the tag titles, I got the heavyweight title. Why don't we winner group takes all, type of thing? And that's why I was kind of thinking they would have done with the women's match at Clash of the Castle, put the titles on Dakota and Io, and then make it a winner take all type of thing. But yeah, WWE doesn't need the trios titles. They don't need any more titles, really. So,
no, they have too many as it is.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they have too many. I just don't think they really need any, I I mean, between the two companies, I think AEW has more worthless titles than WWE does. But
They just
that's
need to
for
get
another
rid of
show.
24/7. But
Yeah,
Yeah, 24/7 could go. That could go.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. So why don't we get into the next match?
so it's a semifinal match that never happened. Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah take on Toxic Attraction, and Raquel and Aaliyah won.
All right, Chris, what you think of that match?
Yeah. I mean, it's just another warm-up match for the title match this week. But I think you're going to see a lot of Toxic Attraction on the main roster now.
Okay. Christy, what do you think?
Well, it wasn't a bad match. Like Chris said, it just sounds like it's another warm-up for Raquel and Aaliyah versus Dakota and Io tomorrow on Raw.
Okay.
But it was a good match. I enjoyed it.
No, they're definitely, featuring the women a lot more in singles or tag matches. Yeah, good match. I mean, days are probably numbered. I mean, we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah.
For Raquel and Aaliyah, maybe they do it on a split, but I don't see anything. I mean, I think there was a comment made on Raw, I think it was, or maybe even SmackDown, one of the two, that Raquel was like the power horse of the team and Aaliyah let her do all the work. And then, so I could see possibly they drop the titles, they might split those two up due to that factor, but I don't know. I kind of like the team together. Hopefully they give.
I do as well.
Hopefully we're wrong and they give them a decent run with the tag titles until Banks and Naomi come back. Banks and Naomi come back. Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as those two are done, like doing New York Fashion Week and all that stuff.
Yeah. So, all right, Chris. What's the next match on SmackDown?
So we got a fatal 5-way match, elimination match between Ronda Rousey, Sonya Deville, Xia Li, Natalya, and Lacey Evans. It's for the number 1 contender match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And Ronda Rousey won, which we kind of all figured that, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, good match. I mean, again, featuring the women, got it.
Yep.
Again, we figured, I mean, once the match was made, I heard it. I'm like, well, Ronda's going to win because she wants her title shot back.
Yep.
Maybe Shayna would have got involved. Maybe, I'm still kind of hoping we see that 3-way Shayna, Liz, and Ronda match. But, anybody that thought differently, please explain, because I figured Ronda was going to win. Christy?
Well, I thought Ronda was going to win too, and I was right, and I hate it because we've seen it before. Yeah, the second time they faced each other ended in controversy. But enough. Ronda, go away.
Well,
it's like, go after Bianca. Don't go after Liv. I don't care.
Honestly, I'd really rather see them somehow get Shayna and Ronda as a tag team. I know I know WWE. I know some of the fans want Ronda, Shayna. I want Ronda, Shayna too. But I think it'd be better if they get the go tag for a little bit, get the titles, split up, and then start your feud. I mean, So Chris,
Makes
what do you
sense
think?
That way.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of tease that Ronda and Shayna kind of. It's like you and me, we need to team up or something like that.
Right.
So they're kind of teasing it. But we'll just have to see how far it goes. But good match. Liv Morgan was in a private booth, watching
drinking, enjoying it.
Yeah.
Relishing the fact she still has the belt. Very safe distance away from everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, Chris, what do we got next?
Yeah, so the next one's going to be Street Profits and Montez Ford and Hit Row versus Lotharios and Maximum Male Models in a, I guess, some kind of tag team. I don't know.
That's weird.
Christy, what do you think?
That was weird.
It was weird.
It was just weird. I'm like, what are you doing? This made no sense to me whatsoever. I'm like, what is going on?
Okay.
That's all I really got to say about it.
all right.
It's so weird.
Yeah, this match I did miss, but I mean,
Mhm.
you're showcasing. Well, Street Profits have been around a while, so three young tag teams. Street Profits are still young, but
Mhm.
I'm still kind of lost in the Mansoor and Mace
Yeah.
male model thing. I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. Lost the Tharios or whatever they're called.
Mhm.
Pretty good tag team together, and we all love the Street Profits. We want to smoke, and is Street Row or Hit Road coming back? I mean, that was great. So, Chris, what? I mean, Chris is kind of right. It kind of doesn't make sense, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting match to say the least. I think Max Dupree is hinting at a character switch.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did see some rumors fly by through the web and Twitter and all those, and sounds like LA Knight's coming back,
I heard
possibly.
that too.
It's like
So-
Dangerous at Night or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I did see that. So, okay, Chris, what do we got next?
Main event, you have Drew McIntyre.
Okay, before we get to
Yeah.
that, I know, let's set it up because there was a promo cut. Bloodline comes out and
With Sami Zayn.
with Sami Zayn, they, Jim, who's it? Jimmy doesn't want nothing to do with him, or is it
I thought it
Jay?
was
Jay. It's
Jay,
Jay.
okay.
Jay.
Yeah,
Jay.
they did some handshake, and Jay does not want nothing to do with Sami Zayn. And then their brother comes out and pretty much is like, if you're against the family, you're against me. If you pick a fight with them, you pick a fight with me, or
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's typically what family members do. One for all for one. So, and then
Oh,
of course Drew comes out and
Everybody's
take care- except Solo did scatter. He
Yeah.
stuck around. Drew went to go take a chair shot. Of course, Sami Zayn pushes him out of the way and gets his own chair shot. He's been kind of the whipping boy right now. So
Right.
sets up the main event, Solo versus Drew. So, Chris, what did you think of that match?
It was a good match, and we'll talk about the ending here in a minute. But good match. I think Solo Sikoa's debut match was pretty good. And he's going to learn about the bloodline very quickly.
Yeah, Christy, what did you think of the match before Chris before we talk about what happened at the end?
That was not a bad match. I mean, Solo Sikoa was the one who pulled the ref out of the ring to prevent Drew from beating Roman at Clash at the Castle. So it wasn't too bad. I mean, Solo Sikoa is not a bad wrestler at all, and he did well against Drew. And then what happened after the fact?
Yeah.
All right.
Happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the match was good. I mean, Solo definitely has the
TikTok.
bloodline
Mm-hmm.
blood in him. I mean,
Yep.
he's learned from possibly the best family tree outside
Yep.
the Hearts. I mean,
His dad,
You know,
his brothers, his cousins.
The Rock.
Rock,
I mean,
The Rock, you
everybody.
name it.
So I
Everybody.
definitely see a lot of high hopes on him. Hopefully, I saw another post that somebody suggested that Solo's going to win the IC title, US title. I surely hope they do not do that. I'm so tired of the bloodline having all the titles. Love the gimmick, love the faction, loved it. Just getting kind of old now. Yeah. So
Done with it.
all right. So the match ended in no contest, I believe.
No
Mhm.
contest.
Or did it be? Okay.
Yeah.
Because like Chrissy was alluding to, time was ticking,
TikTok.
and
TikTok.
yeah, Karen Cross shows up and
Yep.
puts
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre to
McIntyre in the what's it called, the killer or the cross jacket.
Cross
Yeah, I
jacket.
think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's his
All right.
submission move.
And
Yeah.
what was interesting about that was, as Drew was, I guess, fading out, the screen was black and white and was
Thank
fading
you.
out too.
You know,
Yeah.
I was watching it on a replay, and I'm like, did they just really do that to go black and white, or is it was it the replay I was watching? Okay, so they actually did do that. Okay,
Yeah,
Mhm.
as Drew was
Alright.
fading out, so was
At-
the screen.
I was gonna say, so the screen was fading out too to end the show. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha,
Mhm.
gotcha. So that's got to set up Drew and Cross here
Carrie,
at Extreme
yeah.
I
Rules.
believe so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
In what kind of match? I don't know, but I'm sure.
Steel
they'll figure it out.
cage, some variation of the
Extreme
Ambrose
Rules.
Asylum from about 6 years ago, maybe.
We
Kind
need
of mix
Dean
it up.
Ambrose.
I don't know.
We need
Well,
Dean
I mean, you know, because right now you got Karen Cross that can go two ways. You got him feuding with the Bloodline, and you got him, you know, potential feud with, you know, Cross. I mean, so this could be an interesting, you know, possibly a three-way Sequoia or some Bloodline member, Cross and Karrion or Drew at Extreme Rules. I mean, I'm liking the storyline that they're putting on SmackDown, especially with, you know, Drew and Karrion and the Bloodline now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, see where they go with that. I mean, Triple H, you know, he's definitely putting it together, pen to paper. So
Yeah, it is.
Uh,
And I do think
so-
it is going to eventually lead to Karrion Cross versus Roman Reigns for the title at some point.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know
because
when, though.
what's the pay per view after Extreme Rules?
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel,
they
yeah.
are going to Crown Jewel. Okay.
They are doing Saudi Arabia again.
And I heard rumor that Roman's next opponent, it's not official yet, but it's rumored to be Tyson Fury.
Boy. A boxer
No.
versus wrestler. I
Yeah,
think we have seen
that's
this
rumored.
before, but it's in the past.
Tyson
Well,
I
we've
wonder
seen-
if Fury
Braun
wants to do it.
Strowman.
Let's find out.
Well, we've seen Fury and Braun Strowman. We've seen
Yeah.
Merriweather and Big Show.
Right.
You know, of course, we've seen, you know, I guess if you want to call him a semi-boxer back in WrestleMania, whatever, 2 or something, T versus Piper. 'Cause
Mr. T.
I think they had a
Yeah.
boxing match.
Yeah, because Mr.
Yeah.
T played a boxer in Rocky 3.
Yeah,
so
you
that's
had-
where I think
You
that
had
came from.
Butterbean come in. I don't know. I just,
You had
I don't know either.
Valdez versus
Chris, you know, you've been nailing your rumors pretty good lately, and I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see Fury or Roman Reigns. I mean,
No.
you know,
and we all know if that happens, Roman's not going to, you know, get rid of those titles. 'cause-
no,
No.
exactly. And, you know, I mean, yeah, what are they going to do? Put on Fury and then have Fury lose the titles? I mean,
No.
you know, come on. I mean, you know, I wouldn't mind Fury showing up and, you know, maybe it's Fury and Drew versus the Bloodline, you know. I don't know. I mean, but
I don't
Crown
know
Jewel's
either.
a couple months away or months away, so
Yeah.
It's in.
but yeah, I see Cross and Drew at Extreme Rules. So what you
Yeah.
guys think of SmackDown overall? Whichever one goes first, I don't care.
It was not a bad show. I mean, it was a little better. I will admit it was better. It was a little bit better than Raw.
Okay. Yeah,
With the
I
exception of the
could.
maximum male models thing. I'm just like,
Oh,
that
and you
did not
had
make sense.
you had Strowman return again.
Right. I think
Okay,
he's going
so
to
what-
primarily be on SmackDown. I think.
So what? I
don't
did
know
not
that
see
for
that.
sure.
I didn't see the return. So what did Strowman do?
Powerbomb
He had a
Otis.
Powerbomb who?
Powerbombed
Otis.
Otis.
Otis. Oh,
Yeah.
It wasn't really a match, but he just came
No.
out and
gotcha.
Beat down.
and I think Alpha Academy switched to SmackDown.
Right.
Okay.
They might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look
Well,
like-
I think they're kind of getting away from the two shows because I think they've been doing a lot of bouncing back and forth, and
hmm
you know, there's rumor that there might be a draft again in October. There might not be. They don't know. I mean,
Yeah. Nothing's set in stone yet on that.
I say take out the brand split.
Yeah.
yeah.
You have more storylines if you just bounce back and forth.
Well, and honestly, I think you take out the brand split, you throw NXT in there too, and let them
Yeah.
pop up here and there, and you know,
Oh yeah.
Kind of done
You know,
that already.
yeah, they have. But I think
Mhm.
you know, yeah, Ricochet's been down there. I mean, you know, what
Yeah.
was it? Worlds Collide. They had a lot of
Yeah.
top stars
It
down
was
there.
him versus Carmelo Hayes, and then
Yeah.
they had
Doudrop
Doudrop and
yeah.
Nikki go up against Casey Catanzaro and
Yeah.
Caden Carter.
Yeah, I'd say get rid of the brand split
Brand split.
and just let them write for whoever, or you get 3 writers and be like, hey, are you using so and so this week? Okay, let's have them come down to NXT and interfere in this match.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But so I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't know if I shared the post that I saw it, but supposedly Triple H has approached Roman Reigns to make a full face turn, and he's denied doing it. So what do you guys think, Christy?
I read that, and I am glad that Roman said no, because since he turned heel, he's actually been really, really great as a heel. When he was a face, he wasn't that great, and the crowd was booing him out of the building practically every time he showed up. So so basically, he made the right decision to stay with being a heel.
Yep, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, no, he made the right choice. I mean, this is probably his best character in WWE or whatever, and I think he shouldn't go back to what he was doing before.
Yep. No, I totally agree. I truly think if they do kind of a small, quick face turn, and then see it's not working, then he goes back to being heel. But I just think that right now, best thing going right now is Roman Reigns to be a heel with the bloodline. Maybe Jimmy kind of flip flops, or maybe Jay does. I mean, who knows? But yeah, Roman I think made the best turn. Once you're a heel, like Ric Flair. I mean, Ric Flair bounced back and forth, but he was always a heel. Miz has been a face and a heel, but I think we could all agree Miz is a better heel than he is a face.
Yeah.
I mean, just some of those guys are just better and they can pull it off. Like Austin Theory, I can't see Austin Theory being a face. I could just picture him being the cocky little guy that he is as a heel.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, guys, have you guys saw any more rumors that I might have missed? Malachi Black.
Malachi Black got a conditional release from AEW.
Oh, okay. It is official. Okay, I thought it was rumor.
Yeah, but the door is actually still open for him to go back if he wants to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there have been rumors. Some are predicting, some are saying, and this is just on what I've seen on social media, that he wants to go back to WWE now that Triple H is in charge.
Yep, I did see that.
But if the door is still open for him to come back to AEW, I would say give him time to decide what he wants to do.
Well,
I mean,
but
he's dealing with a lot of. Yeah.
As who was it that posted in our chat that Malachi Black was spotted seen with Zelina
Vega?
Yeah. Okay.
Of course he spotted her. That's his wife.
Thank you. I mean, that is his wife.
You.
I mean,
that is his wife.
I was reading some of the comments and they're like, well, he's always backstage, when he's not supposed to be. It's like, dude, nobody said he was backstage with her. He could have been out in public. It was spot seen. I mean,
yeah.
They're married. That's one thing. That's one thing I hate about the internet is everybody's trying to make a big issue out of things and be like, trying to break stuff. It's like, dude, they're married. Of course, they're gonna be spotted seen against each other.
Yeah, I mean, this is 9/11's a really a big day, especially for her because her father died on that day.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
So he's with her, to give her love and support. So.
Oh yeah. It's a hard day for a lot of people. So
yeah, it is.
Kind of didn't even put the two together, but
when I read about it, I'm like,
I mean, they bring him back to WWE. I mean, what could you see Malachi Black coming back as?
Well, they're talking about Aleister Black, but I don't know if you want to have him come back as that character.
I mean,
you would have to bring him back as Aleister Black.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have something before he was released where he kicked Big E in the face, and that was possibly the start of a feud. But they released him before they could do anything, and they dropped the storyline.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are also saying, "Oh, they'll bring Black back. You got Strowman,
Yeah.
bring Fiend back. You got the Wyatt family. Let's drop the
I mean,
Wyatt
if I wanted
family."
if I wanted to see Aleister Black anywhere, I'd probably pair him back up with Ricochet because WWE seriously dropped the ball on those two as a tag team because they were really good together.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really. You're right.
They were great.
I liked the team, but the team was good. The characters just didn't mesh up. It was kind of like Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley. Those
Yeah,
two
that didn't work.
Now, if they would have brought Nikki Cross back as her original character, that would have worked out perfect. But
Yeah.
Ricochet and Black, yeah, they meshed good, but they just, to me, it didn't seem right.
Yeah.
No.
I enjoyed watching them. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
Matches were fun.
yeah,
They were
exactly.
fun. They're pretty
Exactly.
good.
All right, guys. So with that being said, I want to, let's go around. Final thoughts. Christy, what do you got?
Oh, just not, I can't talk. Just been a great show, and I just love being a part of this show and just talking wrestling.
Yeah. Chris?
Thank you guys for watching, tuning in. It's going to be interesting what's going to happen down the road for Extreme Rules, and just stay with Coast to Coast.
Yeah, exactly like Chris said. Stay with Coast to Coast. Thanks for everybody.
Yep.
Chris, thank you for what you're doing. Christy, thanks for hopping on. But keep checking us out. We got shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We might have a Friday show. I don't know. We got 4 Bros late night Friday, so into Saturday. Morning tailgate on Sundays, of course, Between the Ropes. So keep checking us out. And again, thank you guys for watching. This is Big B, Christy, and Crispy Bacon. We'll see you next week, hopefully with Ace and Mess Around back. So
Please.
yeah, have a good night, guys. See you next week on Between the Ropes.
Good night.